Brought to you by Xander Insurance. Compare rates from top term life insurance companies in seconds at Xander.com.
My question is this. Back in the mid-'80s, I had a young family, and I was convinced that, hey, I should have life insurance. Well, I got hooked up with a life insurance company. At the time, it was called Mutual Life Insurance the Mutual Life Insurance Company of New York. Obviously the name now I think is just money. But I actually signed up for one of what they refer to as the vanishing premium policies.
Oh, no.
And the story was you pay, for 10 years, and I think I paid like $145 a month. Mm-hmm. Came out of my checking account for 10 years, and the deal was that I was thoroughly convinced by the life insurance person that, hey, once this is done, you won't have to pay another premium ever. You're done for. So after the 10 years was up, I think I might have had 1 year where I didn't make a payment, but then the next year it was like $350, and then I think the year after that was $450, and so for about 3 or 4 years I actually made those payments, and hit about the 2000s, and I was in a little bit of a money slope or a crunch, and so I just said, hey, these guys at the time, the policy value was close to $40,000 that I had paid in over all that time. And so I'm thinking, geez, what is that? They've got my money. They've got it invested somewhere. I mean, and finally I realized that so much of what they were charging me was these exorbitant processing fees and all. So anyway, I got ticked off at the situation, and I didn't make any payments for 5 years. Well, after that, between the premiums as well as the 9% interest rate, and I think at the time it was even higher. It might have been 12 or 14 for those early 2000s. But anyway, long story short, and 25 years later, my outstanding balance is about close to $80,000. And again, I've never taken any cash advances other than what they've pulled out to pay for the premiums over the years. So I was hoping that you might have some sort of an answer to whether I should just write this policy off and say, hey, screw it. It was a $150,000 policy.
They're showing a cash value of how much against the $85,000 in loans.
I think right now I think they're only showing about $800 on it. So
that would be net. Okay.
Oh, okay. Then
that means you had been $85,000. Listen, they would take the policy out of force. They'll cancel on you if you run out of cash value and keep
really?
borrowing
okay,
against.
Well, I think I'm getting pretty close.
So you're about to break. You're about to cross the lines, and they're going to cancel on you. Yeah. That's what normally happens with these things. The lines cross and they implode. How old are you?
I was 70. My wife and I are both 71 now.
Okay. What is your net worth now? I only recommend term life insurance because it's simple, affordable coverage, and you should get it only from Xander Insurance because they work for you, not the insurance companies. Xander compares all the top term plans to save you money so you don't get ripped off with insurance that they market like a so-called investment. Term from Xander is the only life insurance I would get from my family. It's all I've ever bought and all I've ever recommended. Go to Xander.com or call 800-356-4282. What is your net worth now?
Well, I've got 5 residential real estate homes, and probably worth about $2 million with all. They're all free and clear.
So if you die today at 70 years old without any life insurance, is your wife okay?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Just call them and cancel it.
You think so?
Oh,
okay,
absolutely. I mean,
we
should have done this about 30 years ago, but we'll go ahead and do it today.
I was in the impression that there were some lawsuits on this kind of stuff saying that this kind of thing was illegal and, it was taking advantage of people, but I guess
it should be illegal, and it is taking advantage of people, but I'm not aware of any class action on it. You may be right, though. I haven't heard that, but if you can find a class action on it, then I would, but yeah, you got screwed royally. There's no question about that.
I know. I mean,
you were lied to and everything else, and that's what these people do. It's just it's a horrible, horrible product, and the guy that sold it to you has been out of the business for 30 years. He's off doing something else now.
Yeah, well, he's actually passed away a few years ago. But long story short, it was a real rip off. And I look back and I say, "Gee, what a mistake that was!" Wow.
Yeah.
Now, one in regard to, you had asked me about the net worth. That was kind of a second part of my question, if you have a few moments.
Sure.
Again, I've got the 5 houses free and clear. I've got about another 100,000 kind of like in savings and stuff like that. Is it prudent, given the current market time, that I should sell 1 or 2 of those homes and put that money in? My wife and I are both 71. I mean, should we do that, or is it better holding on to the real estate?
It all depends on whether the real estate that you have is good real estate. It's going up in value and it's cash flowing and you like it. If I hate it,
it's very good.
If I hate it, it's the neighborhood's deteriorating. I'm going to probably drop those. Okay. But if you like the properties and you think they're positive things to own, you actually make more money on rental property that's managed well than you do on mutual funds, but there's more hassle because you have to deal with these things called tenants. So thanks, Bob. I'm so sorry that happened to you. All right, folks, let's recap that. There's no such thing as a paid up whole life insurance policy. In this case, they named it a brand name called Vanishing Premium. Ooh, Vanishing Premium. Ooh, David Copperfield's involved. Yeah, bull crap. Okay, so what he did for 10 years was he prepaid his life insurance and overpaid dramatically for 10 years. By overpaying, he threw a bunch of money into a savings account called cash value. Then they started using that savings account to pay the premiums until, as he got older, the premiums kept going up and they burnt up the savings account. That's what he described. Okay? So anytime someone in the life insurance world tells you that you can make your premiums go away, they are a liar. Because as long as you are breathing, there is a probability of your death. And as long as there is a probability of your death, there is an actuarial table, a mathematical factor that tells us what it takes to cover you for life insurance. And so it's based on probability of death. That's why old people life insurance is more expensive than young people life insurance, because the probability of death is higher when you're old. Duh. Okay? So, but anytime someone says they can make that go away, no, they can't. It's somewhere in there. And in this case, he just overpaid. He paid way more than he needed to. And the extra they threw into a bad investment. And the bad investment was not big enough to continue to pay the increasing cost of giving him coverage as he aged. And now they have burned through all of the money that he prepaid and overpaid. And they're getting ready to cancel it on him at 70 years old. Which seems kind of timely because, well, you're more likely to die at 70, so looks like they milked this thing at about the right time, didn't they? Think about how this math works. What a screw job. But this is cash value life insurance at its core. This is a particularly egregious type of cash value. Another type they'll come up with, they'll call it single premium. Just give me $100,000. We'll put it in an investment. That's your premium. And you never have to pay premiums again. Well, no kidding. Really, no kidding. Of course you don't. If you put $100,000 in a mutual fund, it would create $10,000 a year in income. You could buy a lot of life insurance for that, for the rest of your life, and not have it completely self-destruct like Bob's deal did. So, think about it. If you give somebody a bunch of money, what's the opportunity cost on that money? What could you have done with that, and how much life insurance or other investments could you have bought with it? A lot! God, these people.
It's amazing how powerful
ashamed of themselves.
Words are. They just put vanishing in front of premium and duped hundreds of thousands of people because it's a fun word.
It's a vanishing premium.
I'm going to come up with a product. It's going to be called Vanishing Waistline.
Yeah, you need to,
I don't know what it's going to do, but it's going to.
You should wear a hat with a rabbit. It's like, come on, man. Wow. Vanishing premium. If anyone depends on your income, you need affordable term life. Never cash value insurance. Visit Xander.com today for quotes.